Hey guys, welcome back to this episode of Timberwolves Talk. Um, yeah, we haven't done one for a while, I guess.
Well, no, we're
In our terms, I guess, a week.
no, we're one day after week, so we're one day behind schedule, which after after this performance on the Wolves, I feel bad that we're a little bit behind. We should be pumping them out a lot
Yeah,
more.
for real. Our first time or our first time since the first two games since we've won back to back, and our first time this season since we've won three games in a row. So, and we're the only team in the NBA to sweep the Jazz. So do what you want with that.
Yeah,
That's
think about
weird information coming from the Wolves.
well, all this we have so many weird stats. Like there was like only 22 teams have came back from 17 points in back-to-back games, and that was us
Yep.
against the Jazz. And like, yeah, the Jazz are a good team, man. And
There's
even
a there's Dane Moore stat out there. There's
uh,
we're the only team that is below a 3.33 win average that has swept a team above a 7.50 average
ever.
ever in NBA history. Season
Well,
swept.
what did DLO say? What was his quote last night or 2 nights ago? Did you hear what he said?
No, what'd he say?
He said this is a little sneak peek of next season.
Oh, okay. I did see that. I did see
Yep.
that. So,
That's
I mean, that's guys, honestly, I do have a lot of confidence in this team now that D'Lo's back. D'Lo's playing. I know like the stats. I know he's scoring like 24, but these are the this is the best he's ever played in his career after he came back from this injury by far. He's shooting the three above 40%. He's free throws 88. He's above 50% from the field. This is his best basketball he's ever played, and that includes the Nets playoff run. So I'm super excited to see what he does next season. Him and Cat are playing extremely well.
yeah.
Ant will be a nice complementary piece. We'll talk about that a little bit because we have a couple observations we've been seeing with Ant on the court with D'Lo and Cat. But
Yeah, definitely like Ant's role is going to be a little bit different now, I think, than what we thought before D'Lo came back. I think before D'Lo came back, it was all Ant and Cat, how that's going to work. But now that we have D'Lo and we're seeing him play this well, it's gonna be Ant's gonna have to carve out a little bit of a better role. I think that I don't know. I think it's gonna be tough for him, but I think it definitely can work.
yeah, I and you got to also take into consideration that Malik's going to be coming back in the lineup. Um, so I don't know. A lot of people are asking this question right now. If we do get that pick and we pick Mobley at the four, is Malik coming off the bench, and then we have a lineup of D'Lo, Ant, McDaniels, Mobley, and Cat?
Dude, that even not even it doesn't even need to be Mobley. If we can just get a competent four, I love
Yeah,
that lineup. I love Beasley coming off the bench, and I think that Beasley won't have a problem with that because then he can lead the second stringers and he's still getting all of his shots because he needs his shots. Everyone needs their shots. You can't have all those people at on the court at the same time.
I
Or
think
what about D'Lo coming off the bench, huh?
I I mean, it's working. That's the thing. It's working,
And he
and
doesn't care. He
he
doesn't
doesn't
care at
care.
all.
So I'd love to have him in the starting lineup if he's playing like this, but it's really nice with Noel and Malik out right now that D'Lo can just hop into the second lineup and put up numbers like that. Because I think when Malik and Noel come back, I think a lineup of Ricky, Noel, and Malik is a lot coming off the bench, and then you have Nas and Vanderbilt too. So that's
And a
it's
Kogi, we're forgetting about a Kogi. He's been playing
A
great
Kogi
too.
too. So you mix a Kogi in there,
I think you
in
could even
defensive.
put a Kogi instead of McDaniels in that starting lineup. I think if he keeps playing offensively like he's doing, you could go D'Lo and a Kogi, the new four, and Cat, and then Beasley, McDaniels, Rubio.
See, there's just so many players, and at that point, that's good though to not be able to figure out a lineup right off the bat. That means you have a lot of players that you can plug and play.
Yeah,
So
with basketball, it's a little bit different than football. Like some people say having two QBs is like having no QBs in football. But in basketball, you can't have enough scorers. Like there's nothing wrong because injuries happen as we've seen. Suspensions for firearms and drugs that happens as we've seen this year. And anything. Players just
shout
sit
out to
out because
Malik.
of personal reasons. Kyrie, he just sits out when he wants to. I mean, that happens all the time. So it's you can never have as many too many weapons.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. We are probably the unluckiest team with injuries and COVID and everything, man. Like we can't, we can't be healthy, and finally we have a little bit of normalcy, even though Noel and Malik are out. But when once we have at least three of our players, that's we've showed what we can do. I know the Jazz were without Donovan Mitchell, but that Jazz team without Donovan Mitchell should still be able to kill us if they're the first seed in the West, right?
They should be. Well, also in that second Jazz game, I do have to give a shout out to my guy Georges Niang, man. He
Yeah, he
uh
was draining threes.
he was draining threes. I feel like I'm one of the only Timberwolves fan with a Georges Niang jersey.
And Iowa State won at that too.
And I think that might be, but yeah, I did like to see him make those. Joe Ingles was god awful
He
in that.
so that see he made his first three pointers in that game, and I thought like because that's what he does. He kills every. I saw someone tweet it. He's like the ultimate role player, like the
Yeah,
pinnacle of players. Him and Bogdan or whatever his name is.
yeah,
Those guys can shoot the lights out. So when he gets going, it's usually game over. But I don't think he hit a shot for the rest of the game.
he was terrible. He missed a clutch free throw that he needed to make,
Hmm.
and then Ricky with the steal at the end, man.
I
He
think that was Jaden, wasn't it?
Well, so that was a good debate. So Ricky poked it out, Jaden took it. So I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know who you
gotcha.
give the steal to, but I give the credit to and that's Mike Conley. He was
See,
playing on.
I think that's funny because that Jazz play that they ran at the end of overtime, that's a Ryan Saunders play. Just
Get it?
no, it looks like obviously there's a play set in place, but it looks like there's no play because of how bad it just went.
You want to hear a funny Mike Conley stat?
Yeah,
How many technicals has Mike Conley got in all of his different levels of basketball combined?
probably one.
Zero. He's never got a technical foul in his whole life. High school, college, middle school, NBA.
It's a good guy right there.
He's a great guy. You hate to see him, but dude, the end of that game was so annoying.
When when we gave up the Rudy Gobert wide open dunk, I was like, okay, I kind of knew that they were gonna score. I knew we were gonna have to make the last shot, and then so another funny thing, Rudy Gobert was in first place for the Defensive Player of the Year ladder on NBA, and after that game, after after he let D'Lo just cut wide open, he got bumped down, and Ben Simmons got bumped up to first.
Really? So I don't. It wasn't the Gobert dunk. It was they had a three that put them
Was
up.
it was the Mike
Mike Conley with
Conley
the
three?
step back.
Okay, yeah. Gobert dunk was the one before that, right?
See, I wish I had notes because like this is a long time ago. We got a lot going on. I mean, I'm not. We always suck at the play-by-play, but yeah. So we just threw that game away at the end. It was a classic Timberwolves. Like, well, at least we were close, but we ended up blowing the game, and somehow. And I knew once D'Lo made that layup, I was like, oh god, here they go. They're gonna make a buzzer beater to win it.
That just goes to show though how important of a player Cat is that, you know, I think was it Conley that switched off of D'Lo? It was one of the guard
Yep.
defenders. I don't
No.
know
Yeah.
if it
So
was Clarkson or Conley or whoever it was. They switched off of D'Lo to guard Cat, and then Gobert was so concerned about Cat shooting that three that he came up and tried to help on Cat too, and D'Lo was just wide open on the block. And is that Chris Finch magic? Because a couple guys, every single time we come out of a timeout, we have like the best play like drawn up. I don't know how or why, but there's always a guy wide open on a cut every single time we come out of a timeout. And that, well, we can let's finish about the Jazz game, then we can get into that. But
well, yeah. So one dude, that layup was a little. That was such a weird looking.
it looked like he traveled almost. Like I was scared
Dude,
he was going to travel. He
I'm
should have
like, dude,
took a dribble.
just take a dribble, take your time, take some time off the clock. But I guess Gobert was right behind him. Dude, Gobert has got to be 8 feet tall. That man is so big. When he goes up for those alley oops, like it's the biggest person I've ever seen in my life.
He can jump pretty high too, is the thing. He's
Dude,
pretty
his
athletic.
hands are on top of the backboard basically.
Yeah, he's a long guy for
Yeah.
sure. So that was a surprise we won that game. But that was good heart because like the Jazz didn't want to be swept on the season series, and they kind of went out on a really quick run in the first. I know that it was like a 15 or 17 point lead. Then we there's no issue with the Timberwolves coming back. For some reason,
That's
every
youth,
time
man.
every
That's
time
youth.
we go down, we make the comeback, and I don't know if that's
It's youth.
The youth.
I guarantee you next year we will not have that problem. That's how
Fair
it goes.
enough.
Players get
The
older,
first Jazz
chemistry gets
game,
better.
yeah, the first Jazz game, I thought we just played an excellent game the whole game. You know, we took our foot off the pedal a little bit in the fourth, but we won that game. That was a really good game in the first one.
So here's a quick question: if they had Donovan Mitchell, do we win both those games?
Hmm. Maybe not the second one, and the reason being, I think if they get out to that lead that early,
Donovan.
I think Donovan Mitchell doesn't let us come back. I don't think he lets us back into that game.
Yeah,
But the
I,
first one, I think so, even if they still had him.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Rockets though, the Rockets game was a little scary. We were kind of that was a back and forth game because the Rockets jumped out on us and we jumped out on the Rockets, and then we're up by I think 14 or something with 4 minutes left. They go on a 12-0 run, come right back into the game, and again, our players hit shots when they need to. They hit free throws. I mean, they're turning into a little bit of a clutch team. They weren't at first under under Saunders, but I think under Fitch they're a little more clutch.
Cat had a great dunk. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, wasn't that his first? That was his first lob since Kentucky, or in the Jazz game. That was his first lob since
Oh,
Kentucky.
that one was yeah. No, I'm talking about his little Showtime dunk on the
Yep, that
fast
one was
break.
cool. That was like a LeBron dunk.
Yeah, it was LeBron's classic dunk that he does every time.
Yep. Yeah, the up and under.
Yep. But no, that was I don't know, man. They even with the rookie of the year on their team, we still beat them. Tell them about what the Rockets announcers were
So
saying.
guys, I was listening to the game. You know, screw you, Bally Sports. So I was watching the game. Had to be on the Rockets announcers because I was watching off a stream. They were saying that Jay Tate has outplayed Anthony Edwards in every matchup and that he's rookie of the year. And just a little fun fact: Jay Tate and D'Angelo Russell played on the same Ohio State team. Think about how long ago. D'Angelo Russell's a 6-year vet in the NBA, and Jay Tate's a rookie, and Jay Tate's older than D'Angelo Russell.
So was he in the G League a few years or what was
No,
that?
he played overseas.
Nice.
4 year guy. I think he was a 5-year guy at college and played overseas, then got drafted. I want to say
I
big
mean,
journey, big
he's a journeyman.
journey, man. You know, props to him though. Second in rookie of the year race, I guess, until LaMelo jolts back into the conversation.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. I mean, we've been getting into a lot of debates. Dude, what was that one dude on Instagram?
Oh my gosh, guys. So there was a ESPN put out a post that said like rookies that have the most potential or something, and no one's going to argue LaMelo Ball's first. That wasn't what I was arguing. I was arguing they had Tyrese Halliburton before Ant,
Hell
which
no.
made no sense. I'm like, how are you going to have like you could make the argument, I guess, for the seat, but potential wise, I don't even think it's close.
No, because
Uh, like Anthony Edwards hasn't scratched the surface, and he's playing better than Tyrese Halliburton, who I think is a good player, but I don't think he has as high of a ceiling whatsoever. But me and this kid, I commented something on our basketball account. I said, "How is Ant not second over Tyrese?" And then the LaMelo fans came in for some reason. I don't. It wasn't even Halliburton fans. It was LaMelo fans, and I sent about like 12 texts back and forth to this LaMelo dude. I love LaMelo, but his fans are terrible.
that's what I was about to say, man. They're like,
Like I hate LaMelo fans.
your connection's very bad right now. He'll be back in a second. He likes to do this. His connection just goes out for like 2 minutes and then he comes back like nothing happened. But yeah, I mean, while we're waiting for Chris to show back up, I always just log back into Instagram. I just see Chris is just going at it with these random LaMelo fans and just he I'm always like, what do you he loves to comment on Instagram. So if you guys ever see him comment on like a Timberwolves post or something, make sure to give it a like and give him a little shout out because it's usually never me that's active on the Instagram. It's always Chris. But yeah, his connection's terrible right now. I guess I'll make a little cut right here, and then once he gets back, we'll jump right back into it. misconception. I just wanted to put a disclaimer out that it's never me that
Okay, that's not true. It is him some of the times, but you know how it is. You gotta make headlines. You gotta get the likes. You gotta get the clicks. So it's always nice to get into some educated debates over players, especially Timberwolves players. But
yeah,
just another PSA. Almost done with school. I'll be back on the good Wi-Fi in a week for you guys. Just wait it out. I know it sucks. I know I disconnect a lot, but just give it a week and I'll be back.
there you go. But yeah, I think the biggest misconception that LaMelo Ball fans have is that if you say anything about Anthony Edwards, or like if you say Anthony Edwards is good, they automatically think you're saying that you hate LaMelo Ball and you love Anthony Edwards.
They take it personal, I think.
They act like two legends can't coexist, you know?
Yeah.
You can have two great rookies. Look at the LeBron's class. Wasn't it him, D Wade, and Chris Bosh?
It was him, Chris
Carmelo?
Paul, Mello. Yep, him, Chris Paul,
Yeah,
Mello, I think.
close enough.
And it's I just like you look at like Ja Morant and Zion too. It's not like the there could be two guys that are great in a class. It's better when there's a good rookie of the year race. And I don't know. I guess if LaMelo didn't get hurt, I can see LaMelo just running away with it. But I also think it's because the media is so in love with LaMelo. Even if Anthony Edwards was making it a close race and LaMelo was still playing, I think it'd be LaMelo no matter what. And you look at people like Stephen A. Smith on talk shows who say they're voting for LaMelo no matter what, even if he got injured, even if he was out for the rest of the season. I'm like, why do you get a vote? Why do these type of sports writers get a vote in Rookie of the Year? It makes
Because that
no
doesn't
sense.
make any sense. It's rookie of the year, not
I'm like, you
rookie
can't
of
just
half
be
the year.
yeah, you can't be that ultimately biased against Anthony Edwards that you're gonna give LaMelo Ball rookie of the year even if he was out for the rest of the season. Like
That doesn't make
what?
any sense.
He hasn't proved enough yet, I don't think.
Yeah, like you can have players that have a great like first half of the season, then completely drop off the second half.
I mean, look at Ja Morant right now. He had a great rookie season, and he's kind of just doing the same thing as sophomore season. Like he hasn't took a huge jump by any means.
Exactly, but
So I mean,
it's kind of like MVP.
yeah,
You're not going to give MVP to someone who sits out half this like a good chunk of the games.
yeah. Like you saw Embiid. Embiid sat out like 10 games and he dropped to fifth in the MVP rankings. And you're telling me LaMelo just sits at number one no matter what? Like
No.
that can't be right.
Yeah,
It's
so
like go ahead.
Stephen A. Smith saying no matter what, no matter how great of a season rest of the season Anthony Edwards has, he's automatically voting for LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
Because that's what ESPN tells him. Because if LaMelo Ball wins Rookie of the Year, their ratings are double than what if Anthony Edwards wins Rookie
And
of the
that
Year.
was probably the same thing with the John Zion thing. Like they're probably pissed Zion didn't win it.
Yeah, they
I
need
mean,
their guys. They pick a guy at the beginning of the year and they run with him.
yeah, and that's okay. And like it's something I was watching the other day too. Like obviously the NFL drafts coming up and stuff, and like Stephen A knows nothing about football, so why is ESPN giving him the airtime to talk about quarterback prospects he knows nothing about? Like there's this big thing that Mac Jones is going third over, Trey Lance and Justin Fields, but he's so locked in on Justin Fields, like he's just talking about this brother's so athletic. This guy's so much better than Mac Jones, and he's using no like facts to back up why or why not. And then it's like the thing with, it's just dumb. Like
Well, yeah, like when
ESPN just needs to stay in their lane. Like you can't have Stephen A. Smith talking about football. You can't have
UFC, have you seen
dude.
that?
Yeah, the thing with
When
Joe Rogan. He was talking about baseball. He was talking about the Dodgers Padres series, and he's like, man, the Padres are the biggest threat to the Dodgers this year. They've won 7 out of the 8 games, and I think like the series is like 4-3. Like Padres are winning by one game or something. I'm like,
well,
you can't just go on air and blatantly not know that.
yeah, and also when he was freaking out about when we didn't hire David Vanterpool.
And look at Chris Finch now.
Okay, well, no, when he was, yeah, he didn't even know who David Vanterpool. He's like, oh yeah, and David Vanterpool, that assistant coach on the Trailblazers right now. Why didn't they look at him? He didn't even know that Vanterpool was the assistant coach on the Timberwolves. And he's like getting so heated. I'm like, dude, like,
Well, yeah, and I think ESPN obviously wanted to push the race issue into that one too, and we already went into that and talked about that, so we don't need to do that. It's just ESPN. I don't consider a creditable sports source anymore, which is sad because like
too political, man.
Sports Center was such a good like show. And I don't know. I like Van Pelt. I think he's okay. It's just he's on so late. I never watch him anymore. I don't know. I'd say if you guys want like good, like funny, kind of satirical basketball content with some knowledge, honestly, Skip and Shannon is funny, and there's more knowledge than ESPN puts out.
Yeah.
I like watch them. If you want to watch football, go watch Morning Football Talk. Every single NFL Network show is better, more credible, like than anything ESPN puts out.
What killed
They,
me of what killed
but
my ESPN vibe was when they put out a story. They put that headline on SportsCenter that's like, I've already talked about this, but like, is LeBron trying to recruit Curry to the Lakers? And then every single one of them's like, well, obviously this is just like a scenario, but it's just like, what's the point of putting that on the TV? Because someone's gonna walk by and be like, oh yeah, Curry's going to the Lakers, and just tell that to a bunch of random people without any knowledge.
yeah,
And
like
the thing about Stephen A. Smith is, man, like we've tried to do it. We've tried to talk about other sports, and it's really hard because it's so hard to pay attention to multiple sports. And if
yeah, like
Stephen A. Smith,
Stephen A knows a little bit about basketball. I'm not even gonna say a ton because I think he's a little bit knowledgeable in basketball. Stick to basketball. Like you obviously don't have the capacity to talk about football or baseball in a sense that people are gonna actually learn something.
well, no one can. No one can talk about all that stuff. It's literally impossible to know all this current knowledge about football, basketball, baseball, UFC. You can't know all of it.
Yeah,
So I don't.
like it's a good example. Like I love the UFC. Like I love watching the UFC. Whenever there's like a title fight or anything, I'll tune into it. But I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I know like every single type of martial artist. I don't know like, oh, you're inside clinch control. I don't know like the what that means. I don't know how to get out of it. Like I'm
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say I know like the in depths of UFC. I just love watching it. And that's
exactly.
okay. That should be
Yeah,
normalized that you can just be a casual fan of something.
yeah. And if you're gonna talk about it if you're gonna talk about it, at least be honest. Be like, hey, like I just like watching this, and I still want to talk about it because people will still listen to that. It's just
Yeah.
when you like pretend to be like an expert at it when you know nothing about it. That's when people get annoyed.
Yeah, and it's not like we're experts on the Timberwolves
No,
either. There's still stuff we listen to learn more with them. It's okay to it's okay just to be a fan that likes to talk about the games.
that's
Like it's
exactly what
okay.
we are. We're just two fans that love to talk about the Timberwolves. Not too much, not a ton of knowledge here, but we just love to talk about it.
Yeah, and I mean, we're finally we might be on the I think there's always a point every single year in a Timberwolves season though where we say the next year. But honestly, this one does feel a little bit different. I have a different sense on this one, and it's really not even because of Cat or D'Lo or Ant or any other new players we're gonna get. It's because of Finch. I actually
Mhm.
think he is the coach. I think he's a very good coach, and you can see he's what doubled Ryan Saunders' wins. What are we at, 19 or 20
Yeah,
now? And Ryan Saunders won what, like 6 or 7 games?
7, yeah, I think.
I mean, guys, Finch and Finch had to work with the depleted lineup too, and
He
still
did.
is. And
Yeah.
he's winning games. He's winning almost half of our games, I think, with the lineup that is not healthy. So I think we're. I don't want to do predictions because what did I predict us to be at the start of this season?
You don't even want to know. We don't even want to know.
No, I'm not even gonna look back on it. But if I were to give next season predictions, I would hope we're over 500. I
Yeah.
would hope if we're healthy, I think we're over 500. Um, I think we. You see, the NBA is keeping the play-in tournament.
I did not see that.
It's a permanent thing now.
Hell
So I
yeah, I
think
like
I
that.
think we can make the play. I think that's a goal. I think that's our
It
goal
should
to
be,
make the
dude. If we're
play.
playing like this, man, we
We should
come
be a
on.
6 seed. I think
Yeah.
6 seeds like the ultimate. Like, hey, like we're
If
in this
everything
now.
works out, we should be a 6 seed. I like that. I just want to go into one thing. What is your mindset going into next year? So my mindset is I've already counted out that top 3 pick. I don't think we're gonna get it. And if we do get it, it's just an added bonus. That's kind of the way I see it. Like I don't want to be banking on that at all. Yeah.
I don't even think we need another. Like of course it'd be great to have a top three player, but I'm just like I don't know if we need that. I think it's okay if we don't get the pick. I think it's fine if the Warriors get for or the fourth and pass pick. I think that's fine. I don't think I really do think we just need vets on this team. I think we need someone who finally fits our timeline. Like we can't just keep adding young talent and waiting for it to
Yeah,
develop. We need like a 28, 29, 30-year-old to add into this lineup that's halfway decent. And it's always nice adding a 19-year-old and stuff, but
that takes time. We
it
don't
takes
have much
time.
time.
And Malik and D'Lo and Kat are all about to enter their prime. Like they're getting to that age, 26.
Hmm.
Malik's going to be 25. They're about to be in their prime, and this is when we got to take advantage of their talent. And this is, when Ant's got to step up, and when we need some more veterans. And I'm excited though. I really do think this team can be good next year.
I agree, man. We just need a competent four. That's kind of all I want. Someone who's not going to need the ball. I guess PJ Tucker, not the next PJ Tucker is kind of what I want.
But what about McDaniel? So do you think McDaniel's can't fill in that role?
I want McDaniels at the 3. I don't want McDaniels at the 4. I really do not want him at the 4.
So you like the see, I like that idea too. I like McDaniel's at the 3, like
Yep.
guard the best player on the team,
Yep.
really lengthy defender, hard to get by for a 3. Have another defensive 4 who
Yep.
can, stretch the floor if you need to. Then Cat, Ant, and D'Lo are your main scoring options. You only
Exactly. Let them go to work. Get a 4 that can shoot the corner 3, kind of like a PJ Tucker, but a younger PJ Tucker is what
and
I
we just
want.
have flamethrowers off the bench.
Dude, like that's the lineup right there. You got Malik coming off the bench, Jalen Noel coming off the bench, Nas, Ricky. Come on,
There you go, man.
that's a
I
hell
think
of a
that's a
lineup.
good I think that's a great lineup.
Yeah, I can't complain at all. I want to clear up some air with this Jalen Suggs slander apparently that we had. I just want to I want to be able to voice what I meant by that. So basically, what I was saying is, if we get the second pick in the draft, I think we should take Evan Mobley over Jalen Suggs. And if we get the third pick in the draft, I don't really have a problem with taking Jalen Suggs. I just did not agree with people saying that if we get the second pick, we should take Jalen Suggs. And that's all I wanted to say. I'm not questioning his character, his leadership, his shot making ability. I was just saying I would rather have Evan Mobley than Jalen Suggs and Cade Cunningham over Jalen Suggs. I don't think that was worth all the hate that we got. If you
Yeah,
know what I
guys,
mean.
people came for our necks on that video because we all we said was like we I think Peyton threw out the word overrated. I think
Yep.
that was one of the critiques.
Overrated is not always a bad thing. I'm just
No,
saying
and
he's a little overrated at the second pick. A
I
little
just
bit.
think we just both think that, if we needed a guard instead of a big at 2, then we'd probably take Jalen Suggs. And but we need a 4 or a 5, so we're gonna take Mobley. And we're not saying Jalen Suggs is a bad player. It's just he's not a fit on the Timberwolves right now. I don't think he'd play good on the Timberwolves. I think we'd probably ruin his career because he's not going to have opportunities to play on the Timberwolves.
But if we get that third pick, then maybe
Then
you
maybe.
could say that he is the best player available compared to Jalen Green and Jonathan Kuminga. I think that is a very fair argument.
But I think D'Lo is just showing his true colors right now and what he can be. And I don't know, man. Like D'Lo is a former second overall pick, and he's playing like it right now.
Yeah,
He's averaging like 27 the last few games. So
and what that someone commented, he looks so much skinnier and more athletic now. I don't know what it is.
yeah, he's just better, man. I think it's just because he's healthy. Like he said it in the press conference yesterday. He said, I just wasn't healthy. Like his knee needed surgery, and now he's healthy and he's playing good.
Yeah. I don't know,
But
man. Well, just a quick message to you guys. If you guys are looking to get into a new energy drink, we got Boomerang Energy right here, based out of Duluth, Minnesota. Clean, healthy energy. Me and Chris love it, man. It tastes good, and it doesn't give you that headache when you drink a Red Bull or a Bang Energy. 3-4 hours later, you're just dead. You just have a bad headache. But with this, it feels very natural, and you're not putting anything bad into your body. So if you guys want to check that out, boomerangenergy.com. Use code BASSHOLE for 10% off your purchase.
exactly. I guess a couple more announcements. Obviously Timberwolves talk's going to be wrapping up not wrapping up, but the season's going to be done for us in a few weeks, and probably transition our Timberwolves talks more so into draft stuff, and
Yep.
we're not going to be able to talk about the games. Obviously, we'll still have Timberwolves talks, but obviously a lot more sporadic and not frequent.
Mhm.
So you'll have to be on the lookout for, some of the different draft stuff we put out. We have a couple ideas for podcasts. We're just not sure the absolute direction we want to go in that
Yeah.
with yet during the summer. So you guys should let us know though. You guys leave suggestions below. We take you pretty seriously. We do a lot of the stuff you guys say. So
Yeah, for sure.
comment down below.
The support you guys have been showing throughout this whole season, man, it's crazy. It really is. Like I never would have thought when we started this podcast that we'd actually have one person that consistently watches. And just the fact that we have multiple people that consistently watch and actually like hear what we have to say and like take it seriously, that's pretty cool, man. I mean, it just kind of keeps you going. Like sometimes
Yeah.
it's hard sometimes to do this, man. Like if the views aren't like what you're expecting, or if like you got a busy week, but just those few people that keep tuning in and watching, like we really appreciate that. So I think we got to find a way to get the viewers more involved here with one of these episodes coming up. I know we've done in the past where you comment, we look at those. I don't know. What do you got, any ideas for that?
I don't know. Yeah, I'd love like end of the season. I think it'd be cool to have like a how like on school field trips you go somewhere on like the last day of school for fun. That's kind
Yeah,
of what I'm like thinking for this. Like we got to do something fun on like the last Timberwolves talk of the season. Like
we have people
relieve
call in, dude. We could have like
call.
a
I
little
think
lineup.
calling would be fun. That would be
We could have a
maybe a lot.
lineup.
We'll do a live stream. Maybe we should do an actual live stream, and you guys can we'll let you into the Zoom, and you guys can come onto the Zoom and say your piece about the Timberwolves. I think that'd be cool.
I
So if
think
you
that'd
guys
be
didn't
cool.
know, yeah, if you guys didn't know, we did before kind of we started the Timberwolves talk. We did like live streamed podcasts. So I think that'd be a fun idea to do one of those. During the last Timberwolves talk of the season, we can call you guys in if you want to come, and we'll post it. And you'll be on the channel.
I like that. I like that a lot. But hey, let's hope this winning streak goes on. How much longer do you think this winning streak could go? 10 games? 20?
Let me look up who we're playing.
I'm kidding. That's impossible, but
I don't know. We beat the Jazz though. We beat the Jazz, and good news is right now, guys, the Twins, have lost like 9 straight games for last in the MLB, but they're up 6-0 in the second as I'm speaking. Things are on the up, maybe. Things are on the up and
you
up.
know, yeah, yeah. It's all good. It's all going up from here.
Oh, the
Ooh,
Warriors, man, that
ooh,
could be
got
a
the dude.
win. That could be a win though.
I think so. 4-game win streak. Come on now.
But hey guys, also one more thing. We mentioned the lifestyle channel in the past. All you fishing fans on here, you have to go follow the lifestyle channel because I think me and Peyton both decided that we're not posting the fishing stuff on here. So you got to
Yep.
go follow that one.
Got to.
Our first, yeah, we can announce it, right?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, our first ever mini series
Sir.
is coming out. It's gonna come out probably late. I'd say late May.
Late May for sure.
Late May. We're gonna have our first fishing mini series. Like if you guys have ever watched John B and seen some of his series, that's what we're gonna try to emulate, and it's gonna be a good one.
I'm excited,
We
man.
already took the boat out.
May or
Last
may not have a
week.
hole in it.
May or may not have a hole in it. We didn't film a video. We just wanted to go out and test the waters and see how everything is. We caught fish, so next fishing video, expect some fireworks.
For sure, guys. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Have a great week. Thanks for watching, guys.